As we remember and reflect, let us not lose sight of our shared humanity.
Canadian officials reiterating calls for peace in the Middle East as the war between Israel and Hamas reaches the one-year mark.
We continue to work tirelessly to bring back peace and security in the Middle East, particularly through a two-state solution where Israelis and Palestinians can live side by side.
Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly speaking in Ottawa Monday, giving her condolences to the innocent lives lost in this war and calling for the return of the remaining Israeli hostages.
It's been a year and innocent people are still being held hostage by Hamas. Canada will not stop calling for the immediate release of all hostages. This includes returning the bodies of those brutally killed. We must all stand up to the rising tide of anti-Semitism and hate we see in our country that has only worsened since October 7th.
Canadian members of Parliament echoing Joly's statements, but also claiming a lack of international action regarding a prevention of escalation in this conflict.
We're looking at a horrific human catastrophe that's unfolded in Israel, Gaza, and now Lebanon. This has been an absolute failure of world leaders to push for the return of the hostages and the end of Israel's bombing of civilian targets, of bombing hospitals. The whole world should be in mourning today over the failure of the West.
Stateside, American officials are marking the anniversary of the attack with calls for peace as well. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken releasing this statement Monday morning, which reads in part, "It's time to reach a ceasefire agreement that brings the hostages home, alleviates the suffering of the Israeli and Palestinian people, and ultimately brings an end to this war." A delegation of American senators did head to Jerusalem Monday, where they met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who gave thanks for America's continued support over the last year.
Fighting like lions with the support of the American government, the American people.
Protests, memorials, and tributes did take place across the globe Monday, including in Spain, France, Italy, Australia, and parts of South America. Demonstrations proving to host a mix of emotions, including sorrow, anger, and frustration, not only that the war is continuing 365 days later, but that it's now escalated further, boiling over into Lebanon and Iran. For City News, I'm Karling Donoghue.